great day. I am going live just to do a quick little recap of day one of workshop. In case you don't know, I am hosting a free workshop on Zoom called the Three Key Dementia Do's and Don'ts. Is all about role play. It's all about me showing you what to say, what to do, versus me explaining a bunch of information. Usually these workshops or information sessions about dementia tends to be more of an information dump, and I don't want to do that. So because the workshop itself did focus on giving a ton of info, I wanted to recap it a little bit, and I wanted to uh, just share maybe what you missed. And again, it's not too late to join. If you missed day one, that's totally cool. You can still sign up at dementiasuccesspath.com, and you'll have the Zoom link emailed to you. It's always the same Zoom link for all 3 nights. And you are going to get printables as well as the replay of anything that you missed. Nathan, good question. Usually it takes a bit for people to see that I'm live and what have you. So thanks for being here. All right. So, what we talked about on night one of the workshop was why logic, evidence, and reason don't work. So, the reason why it doesn't work is because uh, our folks with dementia can't take in new information. So, what do we do instead? What we do instead is we want to address their concern, and then we want to redirect them. A lot of people really get hung up on doing redirection in not the most effective way because they see a lot of the challenging behaviors that the person with dementia is doing, and they relate it to toddlers because it looks very similar. However, the approaches that works with toddlers do not work with folks with dementia. And the reason why is because toddlers have very little life experience, whereas folks with dementia have a lot of life experience. They are going to be really focused on getting their physical or emotional need met, and not let go, unlike a toddler who tends to have a very short attention span. So, what we want to do is, again, if they are really, if they're more calm, if your person with dementia isn't freaking out, then just ask them. If they're asking to go home, what you can do is ask them, "Hey, um, is someone waiting for you at home? What's going on at home? Everything okay?" And a lot of people are nervous to do that because they're like, "Oh, if I dwell on this, it's going to make things worse." It actually does help. It helps you really understand, like, what do they believe? What is something that, what is their current reality right now? Because then it's easier for you to uh, know exactly what to redirect them to, that's going to work. So, again, addressing their concern first, then redirecting them is going to work a lot better than logic, reason, and evidence. Let me know in chat or in the comments if you're watching this a little bit later, if you've ever tried to tell your person with dementia uh, why what they're saying doesn't make sense. Like, hey, you are home. Or you've tried to show them evidence. Like, hey, your name is on the deed of this house. Thus, you live here. And all that crashed and burned. It's because it probably just doesn't line up with what they already believe. And again, you need to have the ability to take in new information in order for you to understand logic, reason, and evidence. So essentially, that's what we were talking about on night one. We had multiple role plays that showed that. And I'd say one of the biggest things about the role plays too is it really showed the difference between like how big of an impact, how upset they are goes. Um, to your response. So let's say your person with dementia is like out of 10 upset, like they're screaming. They don't have the ability to listen to you. They just don't. So what is going to be more useful if they're at like a 10 is maybe change the scenery with them or even leave the room and say, "Hey, I can't help you when you're upset, when we're both upset." And again, you do that just to take some of the blame off them. I'll come back when we're both calm. And just coming back when there's just a lot less, intense energy going on, You're going to have a lot bigger chance of success in redirecting them than if you are just trying to say, "Oh, it's okay, we have dinner," or, "Oh, look, there's a puzzle." Like, you're gonna have a lot higher chance of success. So, a few things is address their concern, then redirect them versus logic, reason, and evidence. And how upset they are in the moment that you are trying to redirect them really matters and how you approach them. Sometimes what I'll do too is I might just say, if they're just saying, I just need to leave, I just need to get out of here, then I'll be like, all right, come with me. And I'll just lead them outside. We'll walk around. If I'm able to, I might even just take them on a drive, if at all possible, and just get them calm before I start asking them any questions, before I start doing any other type of redirecting for them. And what that does is it just helps calm their nervous system so they have the ability to even listen to a word I'm saying. Or for somebody who's really not verbal, it's not possible to get a verbal answer from them. I might just, hand them some water. I might hand them a blanket once they're a little bit more calmed. Like maybe they've gone from a 10 to like a 7 or 6 and how upset they are. Sometimes be offering them a water or a snack or a blanket or something can maybe get them even lower so that they have an ability to have their attention go elsewhere. So it really, really matters. All right. Yeah, welcome folks from the UK watching. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, and I've actually had a lot of questions, speaking of folks from the UK, about the time zones of the workshops. Unfortunately, it is definitely set to Eastern Standard Time for so the folks that are living in Europe or living in Africa, for example, it definitely we go live during the night for you guys. So if you still sign up, you get the replays and you get access to our workshop Facebook group, which allows you to interact with other caregivers and also we will have a chance to start or to have you guys come live with us. This following Sunday, we are going to have an encore of day 3 during the daytime for the US. So if you live in Europe, the UK, South Africa, places like that, you'll be able to have an option of coming to something live that isn't at like a crazy hour for you guys. Oh, thank you. Welcome from North Carolina. Let's see. Oh, funny bunny, my name is Krista. Let's see, I started caring 6 months ago in a company which specialized in dementia care. Everything from dementia is from us. Oh, wow, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that our videos have helped you in your new job. That's amazing. And thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, it's honestly, it is shocking how little practical training goes into these professional jobs. Because I can really relate to you, Funny Bunny, and that uh, I had to learn boots on the ground. So, in case anybody doesn't know me, I'm Krista. Uh, my background was working in the therapy department of Jerry Psych. I was in activity therapy. So, my job in that Jerry Psych unit was to help my clients find my clients find their true baseline. So my goal was to engage them, to calm them, and that was definitely trial by fire because they did not give very practical training. And when I say practical training, it's less about learning all the scientific reasons why dementia happens. I mean, all that can be important and it can be useful for sure. But knowing that there's tau beta tangles in the brain with Alzheimer's doesn't really help you when your client is banging on the back door at 2 in the morning and you're just like, I need to redirect her. Uh, so that's what my workshop and my videos and everything that I do really aims to help with is give those practical solutions that, at least for me, was very hard earned. Oh, thank you. Yeah, because truly what's there is a lot of this stuff it takes practice and that's what's really awesome about these workshops too. There's a lot of people that attend the big open workshops that we do, uh, but the real benefit of it is you get to see people troubleshoot through the issue. So um, for example, when we had one of our folks come up and help me with the role play, I could tell that she wasn't like she was kind of talking to me like as I was playing the role of someone with dementia, in kind of a like almost like a little kid, like a tone of voice a lot of people would talk to little kids with. And I told her, that could be the problem. That could be why she's reacting to you poorly, because really how they see themselves and how you see them need to align for them uh to be agreeable with you at all. And the truth is, like, it's understandable because if their behavior looks a lot like a young kid, it's very easy to react to them as if they are a young kid. However, it's so important to keep in mind that they're not. They have had a lifetime of experience. Their brain is just not working well. Their brain is failing them. So it is just it's important to uh every time you approach a situation with dementia to have an attitude of curiosity. So and it's hard because you could go into fight or flight with these situations. So it's so important to take a deep breath. If they're like at like a 5 in like how upset they are, uh it's okay to take a beat, ask a question or two, just like, oh, everything okay at home? What's going on at home? Before you jump right to, I need to get your attention elsewhere immediately because I feel uncomfortable. It's going to make a huge, huge difference uh, in how they respond to you. One of the best things too, and I forgot to mention this too in a different Q&A I was doing, or even in the workshop itself. So you guys are getting insider tip that I didn't even share at the workshop. Uh, but a big thing here is leading questions are going to be your best friend because for one, it still gives your person with dementia a sense of autonomy, and two, it helps guide them to a conclusion that you want them to arrive at. So for example, I had a lady on my unit who was begging to go home. Am I a doctor? No, I am not. So I worked in the therapy department in Jerry Psych. I don't give scientific explanations. I give practical boots on the ground based off of working with thousands of dementia patients. Um, so if you're looking for scientific information, Kyle, I'm probably not your gal. Being super real with you. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Uh, so if you are like, so for example, if they're asking to go home and they're saying, what you could say is, "Oh, what's going on at home?" And I had a lady say, "Oh, my kids, they're waiting for me at home." "Oh, yeah, how old are your kids?" They're 5 and they're 3. "Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, you're a good mom, right?" She's like, "Yeah." It's like, when you're away from the kiddos, you usually arrange for someone to watch them, right?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay. Who would usually watch them?" She's like, I usually have a babysitter named Donna Sue." "Okay, you know what? I bet you Donna Sue is probably watching them, huh?" She's like, that sounds about right." So there you go. That's what I mean by addressing the concern. Is I led her to a conclusion that I wanted her to get to, which is, don't worry, kids are cool. You do not need to rush home. So again, we address the concern. So then now that she's nice and calm, I can be like, "Oh, you know what? I could really use your help with something in the other room. Here, I heard that you were an amazing chef for your family. Is that right?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Chef might be bit much, but I did make a mean blueberry pie." So I'm like, "Okay, you know what? We could use your help in the dining room with the desserts. Here, come with me." Uh, that, my friends, is how you redirect people in a way that's going to make them feel empowered and you a lot less stressed out. Because again, I'm not fighting against her belief system. I'm not wasting my time trying to convince her of something that she doesn't already believe. I am leaning in to what she already believes. I am leading her with some questions that is going to ultimately help us uh get to the conclusion we want, and ultimately going to help us. So there you go. That's a tip I did not actually share in the workshop. Leading questions are your best friends when it comes to helping redirect somebody, and not logic, evidence, and reason. Like I have shown actual proof to somebody, and it means absolutely nothing to them if it does not go with their narrative. Uh, yeah. Oh, thank you, chill guy. I appreciate that. Uh, Someone says, frankly, I have ADHD and the redirecting works for me too. Yeah, yeah. And Mindy, I hear you. It can be helpful with both elders and kids alike. However, it is very important to understand that ultimately what's going to work with kids is definitely going to be different for our folks with dementia because again, there's different reasons why they are behaving the way that they are. For kids, it's lack of experience and where they are developmentally. For adults with dementia, it's because their brain is just not working as well as it should because of the disease. Um, yeah, Easton, yes, none of the dementia persons get emotional. Okay, yeah, definitely, definitely. We were just talking about that, Eastland, that the level of how emotion, like how high in emotion, how upset our person with dementia is, really matters, and how we respond to them and redirect them. Uh, because if someone is super, super, super upset, you are wasting your time trying to redirect them or even talk to them, quite frankly, if they're upset enough. I've had plenty of people feel like they have no choice but to be martyrs or to be screamed at. Uh, and the truth is, that is absolutely not the case. You do not have to be screamed at. You do not have to be yelled at. Uh, you really don't. Ultimately, what you can do as a caregiver is put up boundaries for yourself. So if you're a person with dementia, and some people are like this, will go from like being totally calm to freaking out like a 10, screaming, cussing at you. Uh, you do not have to sit there and listen to it. You could say, "Look, I can't help when you're upset. I'll be back when we're both calm." And just leave the room or stop engaging with them if it's not possible to leave the room. If oftentimes I think of like them being upset or super agitated or screaming is like a fire. If you don't feed the fire eventually without oxygen, aka like outside things feeding into it, will eventually die down. So ultimately, it's so, so important to really think about that. I see Easton, pick your battles. That is actually a really good philosophy too. Picking your battles is so important. Uh, let's see. Have I ever dealt with a violent dementia patient? Funny Bunny asked. Yes, I have. Quite a few actually. I've gotten bitten. I've gotten slapped. Had someone try to smear poop on me before. I've seen a lot. For sure. And ultimately, what's there is y- so when you work in Jerry Psych or any type of psych hospital, you are trained in how to keep yourself and your patients safe. They call it CPI training here in the US. So essentially, you are taught to never have like to be in like like alone in a room with a patient like backed into a corner, like you always want to be nearby an open door or around other people that can help you. You want to, if you are trained to look for like facial expressions and body language that could indicate that they are really close to striking. Absolutely, Easton, keeping them at an arm's distance, keeping out a striking distance is what they called it. That's very, very, very important. um, Definitely. um, let's see. How old am I? I am 34. Yeah, so as far as like talking in the big scheme of things, as far as elders, I'm definitely relatively young for sure. But I have worked with an absolute ton of seniors. I've worked in a lot of actually areas of the senior industry. I've worked in Jerry Psych. I've worked in obviously dementia education. I've worked in senior living. I have worked in home health. So I've had a pretty diverse career of a lot of different places for seniors. Uh, I'd say the places I haven't worked is in an actual nursing home before. In senior living, I worked in memory care, so I have worked in memory care. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed night one, Rowdy, and that you're able to come. Yeah, it was insane last night. So if you anybody who's watching tried to get into the workshop and couldn't, um, that is because we maxed out our Zoom room, you guys. So again, since we're here, a little insider stuff. Uh, so Zoom typically only allows you, even with a paid plan, up to 500 people in a Zoom room. You can purchase plans that get you up to 1,000. So we did purchase a plan that went up to 1,000, and we hit it. which is absolutely cuckoo bananas insane. However, usually nights 2 and 3 are not nearly as full as night 1. So if you, for whatever reason, you didn't get a chance to get into night 1, you can definitely get into night 2 and 3. Like, don't you worry about that. There's plenty of room. Um, yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Nathan, for saying I've done a lot with my age. Appreciate that. I'm hoping to do a lot more. I'm really, really passionate about what I do when it comes to helping caregivers and helping folks with dementia by extension. Like I said, I used to help a lot of people with dementia directly. Now I mostly help caregivers who are caring for folks with dementia. And it's really, really cool. Um, could I ask what got you into care? Was it because of my mother and father? Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate the support, Kona. Hopefully, I'm saying your name correctly. Um, yeah. So, what got me into it? That's an interesting story. So, I got into dementia care kind of by accident. Oh, thank you. Uh, so what how I got into dementia care is I actually originally got my college degree as a music therapist. I know that sounds really weird, but stay with me, you guys. Um, so I call music therapy like a kitchen sink type profession. Or a kitchen sink therapy. So what I mean by that is usually music therapists work with people who everybody else has is so exasperated with that they're willing to throw everything in the kitchen sink at them to solve that problem. So usually music therapists tend to work with folks with dementia or folks with autism. Uh, I've noticed in this world for therapists, there are really elder people and kids people, and I was very firmly an elder person for sure. Like no doubt about it. Like I have my own kid now and I don't know what I'm doing, you guys, when it comes to children, but with elders, it's a natural fit. I love it. And some people are just like, I don't know how in the world you could do it. Like I could not be a daycare teacher, could not be me. Um, but elders, definitely. I absolutely loved it. So I ended up getting hired as an activity therapist at a geriatric psych hospital in Southern California as my first job right out of college. And I'm sure as anybody who has worked in the healthcare system knows, uh, they usually, due to severe understaffing, do not just allow you just to do the thing that you were hired to do. No, no. You end up becoming an honorary CNA, whether you wanted to or not. And that's pretty much what happened because I was working in Jerry Psych during the pandemic as well. And of course, several years before that, too. So I ended up, and what was cool about being in the therapy arm of that hospital is that it allowed me to spend a lot of time, get curious with my patients, ask a lot of questions that maybe the nurses or the people who were hired as CNAs maybe didn't always have an opportunity to do. And I learned a lot. Again, I worked with thousands of people with dementia through many, many, many years working at the hospital. So how I got into dementia education specifically, though, is I noticed I was giving tips to the families who were visiting at the hospital and really loving that. And during the pandemic, everything changed, understandably, as it did for everybody. And what ended up happening is I got onto the Facebook groups and I just wanted to get some tips and some solidarity because yeah, we kind of just had to hunker down with our patients. Like they weren't allowed to be discharged or leave for a really, really, really long time because it was unsafe to do so. So we found ourselves kind of taking the role. I mean, obviously not the same as someone who's a family member who's doing it 24/7, but we were spending longer and longer periods of time with the same people. So anyways, I was looking for tips myself and found people asking the same questions over and over and over again in the Facebook group, made a video answering some of these questions. That video went gangbusters, and I thought, wow, clearly this is really needed. These more practical tips that aren't like big scientific breakdowns, that are more like just boots on the ground, practical things that I've learned just by work, trial and error, and working with so many different people with dementia, and not even just dementia plain, but like because they were Jerry Psych, it's like the really, really, really difficult, really challenging cases. So That's how I got into this work. And throughout the years as well, while I was working in the hospital, while I was building up dementia education, I was also working in senior living and sales, and I was also working as a care manager for home health. So I worked a lot before I had my kid. And now that I have my kid, whew, I am trying, y'all, to do dementia education only so I can focus on just my kid. It's one of those things where ultimately mine and my husband's heart in doing this work is to um, either provide completely free or extremely affordable, accessible, really high quality education to everybody. Uh, so that's the goal that we are working towards. Yeah. So, anyways, that is my story. How old is my kid? My kid is 16 months, so she is very very young. It is a fe- I don't know if any of you guys have had kids, currently have kids, but they have a knack for getting sick for like the exact moment you need them not to. It's like, could you please just stay well? Like, please, please, for the love of all that is holy. Like they just, I don't know what it is. It's like the millisecond they go to like anybody. Yeah, it's just crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah. So, oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Definitely. Yeah, I don't want to preach to I don't want to again. I don't I'm lecturing is not really my thing. Uh it's not. And I've noticed honestly, it's not a lot of people's thing. I personally think it's really outdated, especially in this digital world. Um to I don't know, just to talk at people. Ultimately, I think people respond best to being shown examples in addition to like really to the point explanations of things. Uh, I don't need to give you a whole scientific, yeah, explanation of all the things. There's plenty of people online who are way more qualified than me that can do that. I am just a gal that's worked with a lot of people with dementia that has seen what works and has seen what doesn't work and have learned that I have a knack for communicating that to caregivers who really need that practical knowledge. Practical knowledge that, if I was still working at the hospital, that I would, be passing on to my colleagues. But instead, uh, oh my goodness. Um, well, unfortunately, Andy, I am married, so no, I'm not single. Uh, hence why I have the kid. Is because I am not single. But thank you. Sonia, I'm glad that my tips have helped you a lot. Let's see, working with it and learning two different things. What I'm doing is amazing, especially for people who don't know how to deal with it. Uh, yeah, definitely, definitely. I noticed that there just wasn't a lot of people online. I would say the other person who is really doing a great job of dementia education is Teepa Snow. She is my absolute hero. She is like goals. She is the queen of dementia education. Teepa is an occupational therapist who really goes into uh, definitely more of the scientific explanation bit, but also shows you stuff too. She really comes at you from an occupational therapist point of view, which is great. That works for a lot of people. Um, I don't want to say that I dumb it down, but I simplify things even further than what Teepa does. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Um, you should do dementia education. If you feel passionate about that, you have a message to share with folks, you definitely should. X millions. You definitely should. I think you really should. What is the kid's name? Oh, my kid? Yeah, my kid's name is Aria. Yeah. Yeah, she's a really cute kid. She's in daycare today. Uh, so I can lead these free workshops. Again, if you guys are just hopping on, you don't know, I am leading a free workshop. It's called the Three Key Dementia Do's and Don'ts. I've already done day one. That's what me going live here is doing, is recapping day one. Um, Day 2 is happening tonight at 7:30 PM Eastern. I know some folks are saying they're in the UK. Still sign up, folks who are in the UK, because you by signing up, you get access to the replays, since unfortunately when we go live, it's like in the middle of the night for you guys. And we also have an encore of day 3 happening the following Sunday that is during the daytime. So it's going to like we want to be mindful of the time zones, but much like you guys, I also don't want to be teaching in what would be the middle of the night for us. But who knows? I guess if the demand is there, I'm happy to do workshop series that would be specifically for folks who are in Europe or in Africa or in the different time zones. Um, oh, is Tipa Snow in the UK? No, unfortunately, she is also in the US. I think she lives in like North Carolina as well. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know of a ton of dementia educators in other places. Recently, I was working with a company called Memory Lane Games that's based off of the Isle of Man. That is really cool. So they created an app that's almost like a conversation starter type app for folks with dementia. So it's based on all different types of topics your person with dementia could possibly be interested in. Uh, it's a way that they're able to. They've gamified it, so uh, they are able to just press a few buttons, and it helps them start up a conversation. So, for example, they had me try one that is based off of. So I was a little kid in Houston, Texas. That's where I was born, was in Texas. Right now, I'm based out of Denver, Colorado. I don't base anything off of Denver time because, especially those who don't live in the US, I'm sure it's hard to conceptualize. But so most of the US lives on the East Coast, almost everybody, which is why I base everything off Eastern time. Versus like when once you get past like the middle of the country, like it's almost as if someone took like a man-made line and cut the US in half. So I live like west of that line. So almost no one lives in like the western half of the US except for like California and Oregon and Washington. It's very weird. So no one lives there. But yeah, when I was a little kid, I lived in Houston. So one of the quizzes I ended up taking was different things in Houston. And I even found myself just automatically being like, oh yeah, like I was a little kid in Katy, Texas. Anyway, super cool. Um, is this Australian? The link for the games. Um, so it's called Memory Lane Games. Is this Australian? No, I'm from America. Yeah. That is where I live. I am American. I'm not Australian. That would be pretty cool to be from Australia. Just I'm not going to get too into the weeds of America's political situation, but safe to say I really wish I really wish I wasn't American. Our healthcare system alone is absolutely terrible. And honestly, that's partially why people are, especially here in the US, are in desperate need of this information. It is absolutely, I'm not even joking, you guys who aren't in the US, freaking dystopianly bad how bad the healthcare system is. I don't know if you guys watch Black Mirror and saw the new episode of the subscription, like the subscription episode. The terrifying thing about that, that's not even far off from the actual reality some people are living as far as, like, chronic illness in the US. It is insane. Okay. Alright. Anyways, I'm gonna get off of that topic. Let's see. So, I'm curious if anybody has any questions about dementia, uh, I'm happy to answer them. Alright. Let's see. I don't know if I see any questions, so I think I might just end it here since we're a little bit past the 30-minute mark. So again, if you guys haven't already signed up for our workshop, 3 key dementia do's and don'ts. Again, it's not too late. We already did day 1. We're starting day 2 tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to sign up and uh, and be able to get the Zoom link to join us this evening if you can't live. Again, if not, signing up gets you replays, it gets you printable. And we have an encore uh, of our day 3 during the daytime, so it's more compatible with other time zones. So again, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Hopefully, I'll see you this evening. And oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Absolutely. All right. Hopefully, I will see you guys soon.